Hey everybody, I'm fucking gonna do my D&D update, so this was like a normal day and I was on a fucking sleep cycle. This would probably be, me in bed in the dark telling you this shit, but since my body is fucking retarded, here I am, 5 in the morning, doing this shit. Ugh. Like seriously, I don't get it. It's not all the time either. That's why I don't think I'm fucking like an insomniac, because it's not like a regular occurrence. It's just like once every like 9 or so months, my body's just like, you don't need sleep. Fuck it. And then I try to fix it. Like last night, I went to bed at fucking 9, and then I woke up at 1 in the morning. I've been up ever since. It's fucking 5 now. So, yay. But anyways, that's not what this is about. D&D. So fucking Psych Lord's game. Well, I know one thing because I've already picked out the fucking title in advance. If you're an old school D&D player and you're reading the fucking title right now, you are either fucking in utter dread or laughing your fucking ass off. One of the two. So, the game, and these two games are kind of weird because a lot of shit happened, but then a lot of shit didn't happen because well, firstly, on our last Sunday game, a huge chunk of the time was devoted because a lot of people decided to take the leadership feat. And what leadership does is it gives you a contingent of loyal followers and cohorts. So, they like followers are like really low level NPCs, and a cohort typically tends to be a slightly higher level PC class person who you can use for combat, item creation. If you have like what I'm doing with my character, since I own a fucking temple, I'm just gonna have my fucking followers run it for me while I'm not fucking there. Lundy's followers, since he's a monk, they're his monk students and fucking people who work at his monastery. Kalence's character, he's a little weirder because he doesn't really have like a defined goal yet set. I forget what Queenie's whole thing was. I think she's going like mercenaries with hers. So we spent like a huge fucking time like figuring out what we're gonna do and that kind of shit. But one of the things Kalence wanted was he was thinking about getting like a group of bandits and kind of having them bandit for him, rob people for him, but not do like like rape and murder and shit like that. Just like fucking steal from a couple of people, maybe rough them up if you have to, but like don't do anything really heinous. So, instead of just, Psych Lord is not that DM, so instead of just giving us our followers, we had to work for them. And boy, did we fucking work. Because we had to fucking fight Dead-Eye Dan, who happens to be, and I want to say this is probably one of the most underrated CR creatures I've yet seen in Pathfinder. Pathfinder's been pretty good with matching the CRs to the levels, but this fucking creature, Dead-Eye Dan, and that's not the type of creature he is. What he is a pale stranger, an undead gunslinger. This is probably the most overpowered creature I've ever seen. Because what they have is they have a nasty fucking ability where they can take a full round action and shoot. And some of you are like, well, doesn't anybody with a gun can do that? But this is the problem. When they do that full round action, I think it's called like a dread shot or fucking something like that. When they do that, not only do they deal the normal damage that is associated with a firearm and whatever magical buffs they might or might not have on said firearms, but they can deal, on top of that, another 66 damage. So it's basically and like here's the thing, they don't have to fucking spend grit like a gunslinger, because gunslinger, some variations of the gunslinger have abilities that are similar to this. For example, the pistolero gunslinger, basically a gunslinger who focuses on pistols and one-handed firearms. They have an ability called uh, uh, I'm blanking on this shit. I'm gonna be blanking on a lot of shit because my sleep deprived mind is not fucking working at full capacity right now. But they get ability that's that's very similar to it, where you can use a grit point and you deal 6d6 extra damage, and it goes up as you level. Much is somewhat similar to a rogue sneak attack. So I think by level 5 you'll have like 3d6, and by level 8, like so on and so on. So, but like with this guy, all he has to do is just be like, I'm not gonna attack anybody else, but I'm just gonna like fucking just shoot. I'm just gonna stand here and shoot and use this fucking ability. There's no fucking limit on this ability other than it has to be a full round action. And that is incredibly, utterly fucking broken. It seriously is. Like, even fucking dragons, even a fucking dragon, when they breathe their stupid fucking breath weapon, they still have to fucking wait until they can fucking do it again. Unless you give them, like, certain types of feats and templates and weird abilities and shit. But this guy, he could seriously just stand, like, he could have stood there and honestly killed our entire party. He almost fucking killed Queenie. He almost killed Lundy. He killed fucking Kalence's Eidolon. It was just fucking madness. So, luckily we were able fucking to beat him down, because we had fucking Anna with us, and, you know, a few fucking bursts of positive energy took him down pretty fucking good. Oh yeah, Lundy fell too. I forgot about that. I got hit really fucking bad too, because I was like, fuck it. I'll lightning bolt him. And he fucking returned that favor kind to me. Thankfully though, I didn't... Wait, did I? It's been a while. Oh yeah, I did fucking almost die in that game too. So like, me, Queenie, and Lundy, we almost died. Fucking Kalence's Eidolon did die, but since he can resummon it the next day, it's, you know, it's kind of like, who cares? But like, yeah, this fucker, and it's a CR10, and we're CR7s, and we're, honestly, I'm gonna say, we're a lot more powerful than the average CR7 party. Because not only do we have a lot of equipment that we should not have now, Lundy, I'm looking at you on this one, but we also have 3 to 4 fucking NPCs who are just as good, if not better, than people actually in the party. And this fucking cocksucker still managed to fucking down fucking 3 of us and kill 1 of us technically. So, like, I just gotta say, like a CR10 for that guy, like, I'm like, this guy's more like a CR13. Cause like that dread shot ability is just, it's too ridiculously overpowered. It really fucking is. So, we finally fucking get him down, and we manage to get back to the bandits' camp, and the bandits who are still alive join up with Kalence, and the people that they had captured and they were attempting to fucking capture the merchant caravan, those had the rest of, like, our followers, so that's how we got our followers. Now, here's where shit gets really, 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 really bad for us. So, like, there was I can't remember if it was a flood or like a drought or something like that, but like, somehow some ruins near Lundy's monastery got uncovered. So we decided, since, it's in such close proximity to Lundy's monastery, we should, investigate in case, like, there might be a death plague in there, and we don't want it fucking hidden in Lundy's monastery or anything. So we decide to investigate, and we go in, and god damn it, there's a fucking very familiar figure. Well, there's a group of very, 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 very familiar figures. The Revenge Society. So, a brief scuffle happens, and it is ended by El Toro, the advanced Gorgon who the Revenge Society has snagged. It ended when he shoved the entire party, well, chased them basically, into a room where Blythe had activated a strange, mist-filled portal. And the Revenge Society quickly closed up the door and fucking shuffled off to parts unknown. Now, we tried walking out of the mist, because, we can't tell that we've been teleported or anything. We're walking, and it's days. It feels like literally days we're walking. Until we come out into a forest, and we're like, that's not right. Like, how can you, like, shouldn't we have noticed, like, the fact that we walked out of a cave and into a forest? So, red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 comes strolling up in a carriage. A tall, lanky man. The way I picture him, and the best way for you guys to picture him in your fucking heads to know how truly and utterly fucked we are, is imagine Angus Scrimm from fucking Phantasm. Like, imagine him, like, riding on a buggy. Like, that's this guy. So, he greets us, and he welcomes us to Ravenloft, the demiplane of dread. Now, for people who don't know D&D, if there's one fucking place, if there's just one fucking place in the entire multiverse you do not want to fucking be, it's the demiplane of dread, Ravenloft. Ravenloft is basically super hell. It's worse than, like, I honestly, if we had been sent to hell or the abyss, like, I would be like, man, this is fucked up, but, like, I wouldn't, like, I'm terrified now, and thankfully, I made a high enough knowledge of the planes roll to fucking know this shit in character, so my character just the whole time is like, we're fucked! We're doomed! Don't you fucking understand it? We're in the fucking Ravenloft! But basically what Ravenloft is think the ship of the damned, but an entire plane of existence. It's basically, you have the dark powers, the things that rule and control and make the rules of the demiplane of dread, and nobody knows what they are. They could be gods, they could be devils, they could be angels. Like, nobody knows what they are. But what they do is, they send the mist of Ravenloft, out to collect the wicked. And the coolest thing, though, about Ravenloft is it kind of started as, like, a singular campaign module, Castle Ravenloft, where it gets its name. And you had to fight this vampire lord, and, like, at the end, the castle kind of disappears into the mist. And then later, it's explained that the fucking Dark Powers had noticed this vampire, Baron Strahd, the most famous of the residents of Ravenloft, and had plucked him out of his existence and plopped him right dab into Ravenloft, the fucking world, not the castle. And it's cool too because like Ravenloft expands is everywhere. Like everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Like every multiverse touches Ravenloft. So you'll have people like Baron Strahd, who's from Greyhawk, next to people like Lord Soth, who's from Dragonlance, next to people like fucking Vlad the Impaler, who's from real fucking life. In fact, I think even Jack the fucking Ripper is in fucking Ravenloft. Ravenloft is fucking... It's nasty. It really is. It's super hell. Like I fucking said earlier. It's... So, he fucking starts telling us where we are, and, like, I fucking managed to make the knowledge religion check. I mean, not knowledge religion, knowledge planes check, and I'm fucking terrified. Anna is noticing she can't talk, well, she can't hear her god anymore. My familiar is pretty fucking pissed off. It's just, it's not a good time all around. And it gets fucking worse when we figure out which of the Dread Realms we're in. Because Ravenloft basically, each, like, okay, you have the dark powers up here. And then the people, the more powerful of the people they snatch and the most wicketed become the Dark Lords. And each of the Dark Lords is tied to basically their own realm. Where they're kind of, I mean, they're not exactly like gods. Like, they can be killed, and, you know, the fucking people don't have to worship them and all that crap. But, like, they do have a certain bit of control over their particular realm. So, like, for example, Baron Strahd can choose, you know, what time of day it is. Usually fucking twilight around his castle. He can choose where his fucking castle is in his realm. He can choose the exact layout of his fucking castle. He can do all of that. But, like, he can even fucking, you know, see and hear everything spoken in his realm. So, but at the same time, each of them has a flaw that they can't overcome. For example, Strahd's flaw, which we are running hit into this, is the reason he's in Ravenloft to begin with is he murdered his brother to win the affection of his fiancée, the brother's fiancée. And in doing so, in trying to do so, he basically let the enemies of his kingdom come into the castle and slaughter everybody. And the fiancé, instead of, you know, trying to, you know, instead of falling in love with him, chose to fucking kill herself by flinging herself off of the top of the fucking castle. So, you know, this drove Strahd mad. He became a vampire, then a sorcerer, you know, all that fucking crap. But his thing is, he is always bound to lose her. Like, the fucking dark powers will not give fucking this person to him. Like, all he wants, all fucking Strahd wants, is he wants this woman's love, and he just wants to fucking die. Sloth. Sloth is another one. In fact, Lord Soth is one of the cooler fucking dreadlords of fucking of Ravenloft, because he succeeded. He is actually one of the only dreadlords to outright fucking succeed. Because not only did he manage to get himself out of Ravenloft, he also was able to redeem himself in the end. Like, yeah, it cost him his unlife, since he's undead he was undead at the fucking point. He's not anymore. He's been fucking destroyed. But he managed to fucking redeem himself. So, like, there's that. A lot of the player characters, like, you know, most of the player characters who go into Ravenloft eventually end up coming out sooner or later. But those don't really count because they're not canonical. Who else? Vecna. Vecna is another person who used to be in Ravenloft who managed to succeed. And I believe that's actually covered in the fucking very great campaign arc, Die Vecna Die. It's really great. Like, even if you don't play D&D, like, Die Vecna Die is just an entertaining read, because it's basically it's basically Crisis on Infinite Earths, but for Dungeons and Dragons, because it covers, like, all the fucking different campaign settings, from Ravenloft to Spelljammers, which is basically D&D in outer space, to fucking Planescape, which a lot of you are probably familiar with because of the video games and all that stuff. So, we're in fucking Ravenloft. I'm getting back on topic now because I'm just fucking babbling out of fucking incoherent sleepiness. So, we find out we're in Baron Strahd's, which isn't fucking good because we happen to have a very female-heavy party, and that's one of the fucking things. It's like, if you go into Strahd's realm and there's fucking female PCs or NPCs, one of them is going to be the reincarnation of fucking Strahd's lost love. It's going to happen. It's just going to fucking happen. And it's fucking Anna. In fact, Strahd almost fucking caught up to us, but because of some magical hijinks, Queenie was able to fucking wish that never fucking happened in the first place. I'll get to that in a second. So, we get to fucking the main, the town around Strahd's castle. It's very fucking gloomy and shitty and fucking, just what you would expect from a fucking town ran by a vampire. So, we go to an inn, and there's like this dude who's like bitching and fucking moaning about his daughter, and he says something bad about fucking Strahd, something you don't want to fucking do. And then there's a knock at the door. So, somebody goes and opens up the door, and there's 4 skeletal horses there. 1 saddled, and 3 of them aren't. And basically what happens is, if you insult Strahd in Ravenloft, he sends out these 4 horses. One of them's saddled, and that's for the person. The other 3 are for the members of the family. So, if you don't go, the horses are going to take your family. So, we let them take him so we can follow them to the castle. And we try to gain entrance, but the person, how to say this? I guess, like, basically, like, Strahd's right-hand person. Little girl-looking person, but not really, because it's actually a fucking gigantic red dragon. In fact, if I remember correctly, it's a vampiric red dragon. Stops us, almost kills fucking Lundy, but then makes him lick her feet because she was in the stables. And by stables, I don't mean like these fucking things had like, just shit on them. No, they have to make those skeletal horses some way, so they go out and get horses, and then they take care of them for a while, and then they kill them in horrible, gruesome fucking manners, so her feet were basically caked in the fucking blood and offal of these fucking horses, so that was fucking lovely. So we get back to town, and we're trying to figure out a place to go, because I don't want to stay in the town itself, and this is when Wednesday's game starts, by the way. I don't want to stay in the town itself, because, like, magic is not viewed very well in Ravenloft, in most of the fucking places. In fact, Ravenloft, if I remember correctly, Ravenloft is actually one of the first D&D campaign settings to actually have atheists in it. Because, like, there's actually an entire, like, region of Ravenloft that is like Frankenstein and Jekyll and Hyde people, just like the arrogance of fucking science and that kind of stuff. It's a really cool realm. I hope we end up going there before we leave, because that's like my favorite realm. And that's like although to be fair, I would probably, me and fucking a lot of the other people with fucking spellcasting abilities would probably be either killed or dissected if we ever went there. So, we get back to town, and the person at the bar is like, "Oh, you can use my house." So we go in, and he starts like touching things, like moving them around and different things. And when he does, when he finishes it, basically an anti-scrying spell is put into place, and he turns into a raven because he is one of the were-ravens of Ravenloft. These are as close to good as you can fucking get in Ravenloft. Like, there is no true good in Ravenloft. Like even the fucking paladins of Ravenloft, like they're lawful fucking good, but like they're still fucking irredeemable shitbags. Even though they are lawful good, they're still fucking by Ravenloft standards, lawful good. By everywhere else standards, abominable. So he gives us some information on how we can get rid of Strahd. It's like, my guess is the reason we got sent to Ravenloft was because we gotta do something with Strahd. Because, like, usually when you get put into because, like, that's something the dude in the carriage brought up at first. It's like, you don't accidentally go to Ravenloft. Doesn't happen. The Dark Powers choose when you go to Ravenloft. They want you to go. There's no fucking coincidence when dealing with Ravenloft. Everything happens for a reason. So basically he tells us about some items. There are a couple of different holy symbols that can fucking do damage to him. A blade that could deal damage to him. So we decide to go, because one of them we know kind of sort of where the whereabouts is, so we decide to head towards there. Now when we start heading there, we stop by in a small town, and there's like a bookshop, and we decided to go into the bookshop because we wanted to see if they had like any books about like artifacts or fucking, old shit like that, and they really didn't. But while Kaelin was going around, he picked up a book, and a deck of cards came out. Queenie looked at it with her detect magic, and got blinded by it. So I decided to take out my familiar, because the bookstore owner is blind, so she can't see the fact that I have this weird monkey, mole, rat thing. So I'm like, and he's still fucking pissed, and he's even more pissed now that he's got to look at this blindingly bright magical fucking object. But I'm like, fucking come on, you pussy. You're my fucking patron is of the light domain. You fucking come on, just tell me what this is so I can fucking identify it. It's the second part of the title. It's the deck of many things. And for people who are not familiar with D&D, the deck of many things is it could be the greatest fucking thing that has ever fucking happened to you, or a game-ending fucking nightmare. Basically, it's a 44 card deck, so standard 52 card deck plus 2 jokers, and each card has its own ability, and they can range from things like you inherit a fortress, or you get a lol 5th level fighter follower, or you get a magic item, to things like your soul is trapped for eternity in a gym. An earthquake hits you. You instantly fucking die. So, when we get this, we literally spent 3 hours just drawing fucking cards from it. And I'm not gonna go through all the fucking shit we drew and didn't draw from the fucking deck, but I'll just say this. Queenie got the ability to one time alter an event so it never happened, which she later ended up using when Strahd caught up to us after we left the town, and it was going to be pretty much he was going to kill me and Lundy. Just he was going to. It was just inevitable. It was going to happen. So she had to use the ability there. I got the ability that I could learn the answer to one question, which I immediately used to learn what my fucking patron is, because witches are weird. Like, they're kind of like clerics where they get their powers from a higher being, but unlike a cleric, they don't know where they get their powers from. They, at least not offhand. You can know if you're a witch, which I know now. My fucking patron is a dying sun, which is pretty cool. I also drew another card where basically there are now 5 more of me running around, and they are lawful neutral, and they are diametrically opposed to everything I hold true and dear. So that's going to be fun, but hopefully those fucking assholes will stay in Ravenloft when we fucking leave. Lundy, what did Lundy get? He got, well, right off the bat, like the 2 funniest ones he got is he is now purple. He is purple skinned, and he is a woman. So that is fucking hilarious. I can't wait. Like, just Lundy being a woman is just, it's fucking great from a role-playing perspective because of how bumbling around with the other sex's feelings his character. You know how I worded that incredibly badly, but I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say. How he doesn't really take considerations of the people who he is having sex with into account. Like, and I'm not talking about Lundy himself, I'm talking about his character. So that could be very fun. Angus got an ability that when he defeats a monster next time in combat, he gets an ability score bonus. What else? I can't remember what Darth got, if anything. Calence, what did Calence? I can't remember what Calence got either. Oh, another thing that happened to Queenie. Her musket got disintegrated, but her revolver got fucking, is now a +2 fucking flaming revolver, which is pretty cool. So she lost one good weapon and gained another. So that's the deck of many things in a nutshell. You could get some really, 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 really cool, wonderful fucking shit. But on the inverse, it can literally gimp your fucking character. So after we're done drawing cards, the deck disappears, and we continue. We had the encounter with Strahd, which I mentioned, but it didn't happen because Queenie used her ability. And that's pretty much where that game ended. So, and that's the thing. Oh, I forgot the fucking the stupid fucking mausoleum. Before we left the town, there's like this mausoleum in the center of the graveyard, and supposedly it has 101 suits of magical armor. So we were like, fuck it, we'll go in here. Bad fucking idea, because as soon as we go in there, it's let the right one fucking in, and there's a little girl vampire, and she's like, are you my daddy? And I'm like, fucking daddy this, like, cure light wounds. It hurts her, she cries out in pain, and so fucking her mummy, which is a fucking actual fuck mother and mummy, comes up, fucking starts fighting us, beats the fucking shit out of Darth. I mean, fuck, man. I fucking try to help Queenie. Everybody tries to help, but like that's the thing. Monsters in Ravenloft, Ravenloft is basically Call of Cthulhu D&D. Where in Call of Cthulhu, your best option from a fight is to run. it's the same fucking thing with this. So we start fucking booking ass. I fucking fire off a lightning bolt to kind of give Darth some cover so he can fucking get the fuck out of there. And then we get out of the mausoleum, and more undead are fucking waking. They're trying to fucking get out. So I give like Kalen's, no, I didn't give Kalen's because he already has his own. So I gave Jillian like my wand of fucking lightning bolt, and she's like using it. Kalen's is fucking using his. Darth is fucking shooting in there. Lundy and fucking Angus are scrambling to find big, heavy fucking shit to put into the doorway. Queenie's fucking shooting in there. And the whole time, I'm just like fucking scribbling on the ground. Because this is something I've been wanting to do since the Pale Stranger fight. But basically, I have a new spell called Symbol of Healing, where I can just scribble down a symbol and activate it, and it causes like a 60-foot burst of continuous positive energy. I wanted to use this in the fight with the Pale Stranger because my idea was I was going to draw the symbol on my horse, and I was going to fucking smack its ass and have it just run straight into the Pale Stranger and like try to trample him with the Symbol of Healing activated on it. Like if that had worked, that would be the most amazing fucking D&D story ever. But there's one small catch. Symbol of Healing takes 10 fucking minutes to fucking cast. So within the last minute of me fucking doing this, Daddy shows up. And he fucking beats the shit out of me. But thankfully, he didn't beat the shit out of me enough for me not to finish the spell. So I'm like, fuck you, as I finish it, and I activate it, and like it's right in the middle of the doorway, so like he's getting fucking hit with this positive energy, and since he's undead, it's fucking hurting him. So he's retreating back into the fucking mausoleum. So that gives us fucking time to find shit to fucking barricade the fucking door with. And, you know, that's the end of that fucking encounter. Cause see, if that had been like a dungeon in the normal world of D&D where we're playing, we would have easily been able to clear it out. But because it's Ravenloft, you don't fucking do that. You can't. Like, dungeons are the last fucking place you want to go in Ravenloft. It's like, there's a lot of places you don't want to go in Ravenloft. You don't want to go into castles, dungeons, sewers, fucking huts, towns, forests, plains, marshes. Anywhere, really. Like, oh man, not joking, if I was still playing El Shay, I would have probably had him commit suicide by now. Just been like, we're fucking doomed. So, like, you know, when the people wake up in the morning, they see El Shay with, like, crossbow bolts in his fucking head and a note saying, like, we're all fucking dead. Like, you know, so there we go. So, yeah, that's been the adventurers so far. Pretty good. Considering we're in Ravenloft, like, we're all alive right now. None of us are fucking crazy or corrupted yet. I'm keeping my eye on Lundy and Kalen, so. Maybe Queenie, too, because Ravenloft is kind of bringing out a little bit of the drow in Queenie, so. I'm keeping my eyes on that. But then again, like, I'm fucking Rasputin, and if, like, I've already told the people, like, Rasputin does have a dark side. Like, he doesn't show it a lot, but, you know, my version of Rasputin, he does have a very dark, nasty fucking side to him, and if there's anything that could bring that out in him, it's gonna be fucking Ravenloft, so. But we're gonna have to wait to see what fucking happens from here in Ravenloft. Okay, I'm blanking on this shit. I'm gonna be blanking on a lot of shit because my sleep-deprived mind is not fucking working at full capacity right now. But they get ability that's that's very similar to it, where you can use a grit point and you deal 6d6 extra damage, and it goes up as you level. Much is somewhat similar to a rogue sneak attack, so I think by level 5 you'll have like 3d6, and by level 8, like so on and so on. So, but like with this guy, all he has to do is just be like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna attack anybody else, but I'm just gonna like fucking just shoot. I'm just gonna stand here and shoot and use this fucking ability. There's no fucking limit on this ability other than it has to be a full round action. And that is incredibly, utterly fucking broken. It seriously is. Like, even fucking dragons, even a fucking dragon, when they breathe their stupid fucking breath weapon, they still have to fucking wait until they can fucking do it again. Unless you give them, like, certain types of feats and templates and weird abilities and shit. But this guy, like, figuring out what we're gonna do and that kind of shit. But one of the things Kalins wanted was he was thinking about getting like a group of bandits and kind of having them bandit for him, rob people for him, but you know, not do like, you know, like rape and murder and shit like that. Just like, you know, fucking steal from a couple of people, maybe rough them up if you have to, but like, you know, don't do anything really heinous. So instead of just Psych Lord is not that DM. So instead of just giving us our followers, we had to work for them. And boy, did we fucking work. Because we had to fucking fight Dead-Eye Dan, who happens to be, and I want to say this is probably one of the most underrated CR creatures I've yet seen in Pathfinder. Pathfinder's been pretty good with matching the CRs to the levels, but this fucking creature, Dead-Eye Dan, and that's not the type of creature he is. What he is a pale stranger, an undead. And these two games are kind of weird because a lot of shit happened, but then a lot of shit didn't happen. Because, well, firstly, on our last Sunday game, a huge chunk of the time was devoted because a lot of people decided to take the leadership feat. And what leadership does is it gives you a contingent of loyal followers and cohorts. So, you know, they like followers are like really low level NPCs, and a cohort typically tends to be a slightly higher level PC class person who you can use for, you know, combat, item creation. If you have like what I'm doing with my character, since I own a fucking temple, I'm just gonna have my fucking followers run it for me while I'm not fucking there. Lundy's followers, since he's a monk, they're his monk students and fucking people who work at his monastery. Kalins' character, he's a little weirder because he doesn't really have like a defined goal yet set. I forget what Queenie's whole thing was. I think she's going like mercenaries with hers. So we spent like a huge fucking gunslinger. This is probably the most overpowered creature I've ever seen. Because what they have is they have a nasty fucking ability where they can take a full round action and shoot. And some of you are like, well, doesn't anybody with a gun can do that? But this is the problem. When they do that full round action, I think it's called like a dread shot or fucking something like that. When they do that, not only do they deal the normal damage that is associated with a firearm and whatever magical buffs they might or might not have on said firearms, but they can deal, on top of that, another 66 damage. So it's basically, and like, here's the thing, they don't have to fucking spend grit like a gunslinger, because gunslinger, some variations of the gunslinger have abilities that are similar to this. For example, the pistolero gunslinger, basically a gunslinger who focuses on pistols and one-handed firearms. They have an ability called hey everybody, I'm fucking gonna do my D&D update. So this was like a normal day and I was on a fucking sleep cycle, this would probably be, me in bed in the dark telling you this shit. But since my body is fucking retarded, here I am, 5 in the morning, doing this shit. Ugh. Like, seriously, I don't get it. Like, it's not all the time either. That's why I don't think I'm fucking like an insomniac, because it's not like a regular occurrence. It's just like once every like 9 or so months, my body's just like, you don't need sleep. Fuck it. And then I try to fix it. Like last night, I went to bed at fucking 9, and then I woke up at 1 in the morning. I've been up ever since. It's fucking 5 now. So, yay. But anyways, that's not what this is about. D&D. So fucking Psych Lord's game. Well, I know one thing because I've already picked out the fucking title in advance. If you're an old school D&D player and you're reading the fucking title right now, you are either fucking in utter dread or laughing your fucking ass off. One of the two. So, the game